Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. We are back. Happy New Year, Jan the 1st. Literally, I've been up for about 3 hours. I've literally been up for 3 hours. My brain is not working right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you, I didn't go to sleep till about 6, half 5 in the morning. It was a mad thing. It's a mad thing. I'm literally just waking up, you might as well say. Big up every single one of you though in the building. We are going to dive in the first stream of the new year. And we're going to look at the terrible result yesterday. That diabolical result. It was disgusting, man. Oh, we let our frustrations out last night on that match reaction. If you didn't check it out, you check it out after this one. Don't expect rage because I am tired. But we will dive in and look at the data, look at what's being said. And it's just so questionable, man. That performance yesterday was just a shambles, man. A lot of pressure being put on Declan Rice by the media. They want to know what's going on behind the scenes. Why are Arsenal crumbling? Why are Arsenal playing with this? I don't know, this. It's like it's an incompetent mentality, bro. Like no belief, no confidence. Just there's nothing there. Nothing there whatsoever. The system's all over the place. The football is dead. Players are looking burnt out. Xhaka, Martinelli, where are they? I don't know, man. I don't know. Our defenders are starting to look shaky. Bozo, Gabriel Magalhaes is back. William Saliba starting to lack composure. Ben White. You know, like it's mad right now. It is mad. Odegaard just in and out, disappearing. You know, you don't know whether he's in the team or if he's still at home. Like, you don't know what's going on, bro. Kai Havertz. And we've done a Lee Gunner reaction. I know some of you guys would have seen that. Go and check that out after this video as well. We've unlocked Kai Havertz. We've unlocked 29. Fuck, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy. That fan cam was funny. It's just not where we expected it to be at this point. A lot of us were skeptical. Some of us, you know, actually thought this capitulation was going to come at some point. A few weeks ago, I felt, you know, like we looked so put together at the back. We looked so structured, so organized, so composed at the back. We weren't conceding goals. You know, we weren't scoring many goals, but we weren't conceding goals. And on that basis, I thought, you know what? You know, we've got the individual brilliance. We know Mikel Arteta likes to rely on that individual brilliance to see us through. So we've got that to kind of fall back on. But in terms of like our defense and what's going on at the back, it doesn't really seem like anyone can break us down. It doesn't really seem like we're just going to fold, capitulate, and start giving away goals. That I was wrong. I was totally wrong. The capitulation has come very, very early. But then when you think about it, you go back to last season. In fact, our capitulation will be the decline in our performances started happening in January. We started looking worse. We didn't look as good as we did in the first half of the season. That started happening in January. We were scrapping results. We were getting through, more or less playing the way we've been playing over these past however games we've played so far this season, where it hasn't been great, but we've found ways through. That's what we were doing from January onwards. We lost a few key players in William Saliba, and that's when everything fell to shit. And we couldn't actually get a win. We were losing, going to Brighton. Brighton comes to us, slaps us up 3-0. But we're going to teams and it's losing to teams. I think there's a few other losses in there as well. And it's just, it was just horrific. It was horrifying. You know, I couldn't believe that actually happened at that moment in time. 93% at the top of the table. And we threw it away. We just blew it away, you know. We then thought, all right, cool, coming into the season, we've signed a few new players. Declan Rice bringing in a new spine. You know, there could be, I mean, on that basis, you straight away, you know, think there's going to be an improvement. And then, you know, you are slightly underwhelmed with a few of the other players like the Kai Havertz and, you know, that you brought to the club. But you still think that at that point, Mikel Arteta has probably learned from last season. You know, the Sakas, the Marcelis, the other players are going to be, you know, on fire, have a lot of fire in their belly based on how far of a distance they went last season and slipped up. You know, you would think they would have come into this season with some next type of fire, you know, showing everyone that, nah, this is not the season we're going to slip up. You know, this is the season we're going to go to the end and make sure that we are holding that Premier League title at the end of it. But we've got to the same point of the season and Arsenal are starting to capitulate. But this time it looks worse. This time it looks worse. The football on display from Arsenal this season has been questionable. Even though we've been getting victories and results, the football on display has been questionable. It's been something that I've been questioning for a number of times, for a number of months, a number of years. Of course, I took my foot off the gas last season because the attacking identity, the football itself, the build-up, everything, the link-up, everything was on point last season. We were literally playing champagne liquid football. If you want to talk about, you know, proper liquid football, we've done that, especially in the first half of the season. We saw glimpses of it in the second half as well. And on that basis, I kind of took my foot off the gas and said, you know what, I don't need to call this out no more. Mikel Arteta is, you know, clicked the system. He's clicked and connected the dots. And now, you know, Arsenal are playing with fluidity, playing with unpredictability, playing, you know, with just so much determination, so much, man. It was just so much last season. It was just incredible. And this season, it's just not been the same, has it? It hasn't been the same. And we've got, you know, Declan Rice taking a lot of pressure, Martinelli and ESR having fallouts. Some reports are coming out suggesting that ESR is falling out with a number of players. They think ESR is falling out with not only Martinelli, but other players in the camp, even the manager. Another reason why people believe that ESR is falling out with the manager as well is because of the fact that he wasn't given any minutes yesterday. He wasn't given any minutes yesterday. Eddie Nketiah was on the pitch for 95 minutes. When you're talking about favourites, man, like it's so clear as day that Mikel Arteta has favourites. It's so clear as day that Mikel Arteta doesn't rate certain players, isn't it? You know, I've said recently, you know what, just get rid of ESR. I've got a video dropping about 2:30, in fact. ESR will be included in that video. Make sure you guys check that out. Yeah, a lot of content I've been dropping. Just want to put it out there as well. I'm not entirely happy with the views that the channel's been receiving over the past couple of days. It's actually been a shambles. It's been just as shambolic as Arsenal's performances. I have to be totally honest. Yeah, but anyway, there's a problem with ESR, and a lot of people think there's a falling out behind the scenes. Some people think that ESR's falling out with multiple players, as I've said. But I'm sure you guys would have seen this yesterday. Martinelli coming off, slaps Reece Nelson. ESR's got his hand out, and Martinelli doesn't even acknowledge him. I mean, it's really questionable, isn't it? I mean, at this point, I look at ESR's face and I feel sorry for him. Like, oh, bro, like, I feel sorry for him. I was like, right, what's he done? He feels like in himself, like, what have I done? Have I done something wrong? Or maybe he knows that he's done something wrong, but he's just trying to keep it easy. And Martinelli's like, bro, don't chat to me, blood. Don't chat to me, blood. Are you mad? You can't talk to me. I don't know. I really don't know. And then again, yesterday, ESR not getting any minutes. You know, you brought Martinelli off. You brought Trossard on. And that's always the go-to kind of substitute, isn't it? Martinelli off, Trossard on, Martinelli off, Trossard on. But what about ESR? Is ESR going to get any minutes? We see he got a few minutes against West Ham. I think he got about 20 minutes against West Ham. Didn't have a real massive impact, but still, you know, we're in a position against Fulham where we're losing. You know, we've got 5 substitutes that we can make. We need to put more bodies into the final third. One thing that we were lacking yesterday was creating of chances. So why would Mikel Arteta decide to leave ESR on the bench and not even bring him off just to give him 5 minutes? Maybe he could do something. You know, I didn't really get that decision. I really didn't get it. And the fact that you kept Eddie Nketiah on, for what? Eddie Nketiah had no influence in the game whatsoever, but you gave him 95 minutes of football. Please. Embarrassing. And you know, there's question marks over Mikel Arteta. You know, make sure you fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, because we will dive into Arteta. I want to know everyone's thoughts on Arteta right now, because even though Arsenal are in a good position, and we're top 4. We're 4th. We're not even 2nd or 1st anymore. Bloody hell. We're 4th in the league. We'll look at the table in a little while. I feel right now that I would be really extremely open to the process of getting a new manager right now. Like, I'll be open to it. Like, I feel like Arsenal, as a football club and as a team, are in a fantastic position. We don't want to throw it away. We don't want to ruin it. One season could ruin it. One season could actually take us back 2 seasons. So it means the season that we had where we finished second, 93% of the time at the top of the table, it was all for nothing. It meant nothing. And this is what we were saying at the beginning of the season, because I was so adamant that this season, I said to everyone, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Pick up the real ones, because I love you real ones. Yeah, the real ones will always remember, and therefore the real ones will always be able to vouch. But at the beginning of the season, what was I telling everyone? Relax. Don't get ahead of yourself. Because we've seen this before, not even only at Arsenal, but we've seen it at other clubs as well. Anything can happen. We can finish second in that season, but in the following season, we can finish 8th. What then? What then? This is what I'm saying. And this is another reason why I was concerned about the way Arsenal were operating behind the scenes financially to a degree, giving out all these contracts to all these players. Because I said, you're giving out all these big contracts. Look, Kai Havertz, 280k. All of these, you're giving out all these big contracts. It could be detrimental to the future of Arsenal if Mikel Arteta can't deliver on results. If Mikel Arteta can't deliver, which last night he proved he can't, against Fulham, that actually lost against Burnley, lost against Bournemouth, lost against, I mean, they haven't won a game in like 3 games or 4 games until they played us. But if Mikel Arteta can't deliver on results, these new contracts that we've given to all of these players could be detrimental. Why could it be detrimental? Because if Arsenal don't win major honours, how do Arsenal find the confidence to actually renew their contracts? They can't. Because Arsenal have already gone through that process of having to make cutbacks. This is one of the reasons why we'll talk about the FFP situation yesterday. And I was telling you guys, look, there is no real situation with FFP. The cutbacks and everything that Arsenal have done over the past 2 years alleviates any pressure when it comes to FFP. So what the media are talking about is absolute BS. Don't listen to what the media is saying. Arsenal know what they're capable of doing, and Arsenal know what they can do. But the ultimate problem lies with the amount of money we've spent so far in this project and the results that we've been able to get out of this project. Last season was a fantastic season. So I gave you 240 million to spend, okay? Now I need ROI, yeah? Anyone that's in business will understand ROI. I need return on investment. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be financially, really, but we need to see results because it's a results-driven business. I can't continue to keep plugging this project with bare millions and millions, and you're struggling to bring me a fucking Carabao Cup. What is going on here? What is going on? So the media are trying to paint it like it's an FFP problem, but no, what I've just explained is the actual problem. And the Stan Kroenke and KSC aren't stupid enough to say to Mikel Arteta, okay, here's another 100 million in January. That's 340 million that we've had to commit to in one season. Are you really think they're stupid enough to do that? No, they're not going to do that. If you want to free up some money, you have to sell players that you've got. If you don't have, or if you can't create value from those players, then it's unfortunate for you, my friend. This is the reason why we're trying to give as many minutes as we can to Eddie Nketiah, because what is Mikel Arteta trying to do? He's trying to create value so he can try and sell Eddie, because that's the goal. Eddie Nketiah is not a part of the long-term project, but there has to be a strategic plan on how Arsenal can get money and also get results without knocking on Stan Kroenke's door saying, please, can I have another 100 million? Can I have another 200 million? Do you understand now, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, that's the actual problem. That's what's going on right now. So Arsenal find themselves in a mess, off and off the pitch, off and on the pitch. Obviously, on the pitch, you can turn around, but off the pitch, can we turn it around if Arteta can't deliver? You know? Because that's going to be the stumbling block. The commitments that we've made over the past 12 months as well could also be a stumbling block if Mikel Arteta can't deliver on results. Remember, we've still yet to pay West Ham for Declan Rice. We're still yet to complete the Nicolas Pepe deal. We're probably still yet to pay off Chelsea for Kai Havertz. There's other players that we're still paying off for. These are commitments that Arsenal are having to commit to financially every single season. So, again, if we can't get results, So this is the reason why I've always said, listen, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is the season Mikel Arteta has to really step up and really prove that he is the man that many believe he is. Because if he can't do it this season, then it has to be. He has to be gone. He has to be gone. Big up every single one of you in the building, man. Make sure we are hitting the like button. You know how I go. I waffle for about 15, 20 minutes before I dive into any comments. Much appreciate every single one of the real ones in the building. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. I want to know everyone's thoughts on Mikel Arteta, man. Everyone. Yes, he is a fraud, says PY. Saka will be the new Rashford, and 105 million waste will be the next Harry Maguire. Big up Darth Vader. It says Arteta needs another 2 billion so he can buy the best 11 in the world to deliver you a League Cup and a Europa League. He spent a lot of money, man. It's been a lot of money. Big up Oliver. He says the best signing we could do in January is get an elite manager for once. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, and that's probably the best comment that we've read so far. That's how I feel right now. I think the best move for Arsenal would be just to run with what we've got, maybe plug a loan, because we don't have the money based on Arsenal willing to commit to whatever deal is on the table. They're not willing to do it. That's what it is. The money is there. So please don't misinterpret what I'm saying or misconstrue what I'm saying here. The money is there. However, Arsenal are not willing to commit because we've spent too much. We've got to balance things out somehow. And how do we balance it out? We balance it out by getting results. That's how we balance it out. So, if Mikel Arteta can't win the Premier League this season, it's going to be extremely detrimental to the future of Arsenal Football Club, because we've handed out so many new contracts to our young players. It will then mean we won't be able to renew those contracts in about a year, 2 years' time, unless Mikel Arteta is delivering on those expectations. So it puts us in a mad predicament, man. And then we've got no money to spend because of the incompetence in the deals that we've actually already signed. The Nicolas Pepe, Declan Rice. It's all stupid stuff. Someone said it yesterday. I think it was Darth Vader in the group chat, actually. He said that Mikel Arteta and Edu, they're basically, what did you say, Duff? You're in the chat, man. Say it again, brother. It was funny, actually. They're like a mistress or a wife spending their husband's money. He said it better than that, but it's crazy, man. These men are not spending the money correctly. They're not bringing in the best of players available. I don't know why we kept Nelson and loaned out Tierney. Doesn't make any sense. Big up Samuel. He says Reece could have gone Brighton, but he's here on 100k. Shambolic. That's what I'm saying. He's got big up Cho, man. Happy New Year, my guy. You're right, bro. Like, he's on 100k a week. This is what I said. I actually said this on the stream yesterday, but I didn't actually pull it in. So I said it on a recording, but I didn't want to sound so harsh. But I'm going to say it now, right? I'm going to say it now. But I said this on a recording yesterday for a video that I've dropped today, but I actually took it out of the recording. But I'm going to say it now. Reece Nelson is happy to sit on the bench, be a yes man for 100k a week. He's 24, going on 25 years old. He's been at Arsenal for how long, right? How long? He has not established himself as a first-team player at Arsenal. Not once has this guy had a consistent run of games. Now, on that basis, as a player that has ambitions to be, or win titles or win trophies, do something, even just kind of cement yourself as a first-team player, so you leave a legacy somewhere. He's not even willing to do that. You can clearly see that you're not going to make it at Arsenal. Like, you put yourself in Reece Nelson's shoes. You can see that Saka is the favourite. You are never going to be ahead of Saka. So why would you then in the summer say, okay, I'm going to agree to sign a 100k a week contract at Arsenal Football Club for 5 years, bro, being 24, nearly 25 anyway. So you're telling me I'm happy to sit on Arsenal's bench until I'm 30 years old? Because if Arsenal don't sell Reece Nelson and Reece Nelson decides that he doesn't want to go anywhere, that means he'll run his contract down until he's 30 years old, right? So what ambition does Reece Nelson really have? Don't Reece know? If I was Reece, I'll be saying, you know what, Brighton, I'll be doing Joe Willock. That's the best way to put it. You see, Joe Willock and them man left because they actually wanted to be better than they were. Them man left because they wanted to be a better version of themselves, establish themselves in a first team, and help leave a legacy. But Reece Nelson ain't following those footsteps. These boys that he come through with in the academy have all done it. They've all done it. They've all left and gone on to, I wouldn't say bigger and better things, but you can say in comparison to Reece Nelson, bigger and better things, because they're now cementing themselves in first teams, playing for teams that are actually really, supporting them and putting a lot of faith in them. But Reece Nelson ain't on that. Reece Nelson wants to take the easy route of just sitting down at Arsenal on the bench, or even in the reserves under 23s. As long as I collect my paycheck, I am calm. And that's the type of player we've got there. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolutely disgrace, bro. And yeah, man, it's, Mikel Arteta knew that's, this is another reason why you have to question the manager, because Mikel Arteta actually knew. Come on, you know your staff's ambition. You know where your players' heads at. What Mikel Arteta has done is Mikel Arteta has taken advantage of it. Mikel Arteta said to him, "Don't worry, bro. Just come to training. I'll give you 100K a week. I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to be honest to your face, Reece Nelson, that you're not going to get any minutes. I'll probably give you minutes here and here." He probably told him that over the course of this 38-game season, forget the other games, I can guarantee you about 2,000 minutes. And Reece Nelson said, okay, yeah, 2,000 minutes. Now, Mikel Arteta has got to find a way how to give him those 2,000 minutes over the course of a season. That would have been advantage of the fact that Reece Nelson has no ambition to be a top player. No ambition. He doesn't want to cement himself in any team. He's just happy to be a bit part player for the rest of his career, as long as he gets paid. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And instead of signing players like Mohamed Kudus, who we were heavily linked with, we would rather say, yeah, let's not make things uncomfortable for Saka, because Kudus coming in at Arsenal in the summer would have made things uncomfortable for Saka. Saka would not be playing right now. If you compare West Ham's Kudus to Arsenal's Saka of this season, who's been the better player? Kudus. So basically, if you bring Kudus to Arsenal in the summer, just gone, Kudus would have given Saka such of a run for his money. Mikel Arteta would have had to have played Kudus, isn't it? But that can't run. We can't run that. So what we'll do is we'll make Saka the star boy. We'll commit to Saka and give him the minutes, and we'll give Reece Nelson the 100K contract. That saves us money, and that saves us from preventing. That stops us from preventing Saka. Hold on, let me see if I don't know that. But that stops us from stagnating Saka and stopping him from being the player that everybody perceives him to be. Basically, do you understand? If Kudus would have come in at Arsenal, Saka would be sitting on the bench. Or Kudus would be putting in performances and Mikel Arteta will be biased and keep Kudus on the bench, even though he's got the better GA, the higher rating, game rating, whatever it is. There will be some sort of conflict there, and it wouldn't sit well with players. But it will sit well with Reece Nelson because he's happy to be a yes man. Bro, sacking Arteta at this point won't make any sense, but he has to win something this season, or he can bounce. Enough is enough. Big up Gunner forever. And I would agree with that. I would 100% agree with that. I want to know everyone else's kind of general thoughts on this, because like I'm open to my original expectation. I'm open to my original expectation. That's what I'm sticking with. But I'm also open to the process of finding a new manager now, if that's what needs to be done. If Arsenal feel that, all right, cool, this is not going to work, I'm open to that right now. But I'm going to stick with my original expectation of, if Mikel Arteta cannot deliver, just like Gunner Forever saying, if Mikel Arteta cannot deliver by the end of this season, you have to go, bro. You have to. If Arsenal don't sack you out of respect for the project and for the fans, resign. Resign. That's what I'm saying. Reece is banking 25 million. This is what I'm saying. Is Joe Willock good? Well, look, Joe Willock has proved to be better than he was at Arsenal whilst at Newcastle. I'll tell you that. Joe Willock is a bang average Newcastle bench warmer. No, I wouldn't say so. I think he had an injury that kept him out, and now he's had to kind of work his way back into the team. You go back last season, Joe Willock actually scored important goals that put Newcastle fourth in the Premier League. It's funny that Joe Willock's injured and hasn't been playing this season, and Newcastle have stumbled. I mean, take it as you will, you know. Listen, I'm not saying Willock's the best player in the world, but at least Willock had the balls to say, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and be a yes man for Arsenal. I'm going to go to Newcastle and try and establish myself. You know, then way there. Reece Nelson is sitting there being a yes man, happy to take 100k a week with no qualms whatsoever. Moses says, we need a replacement for Xhaka and Martinelli because they play too much. Most especially Xhaka, he needs to rest for someone else. Let's get Ollie Watkins and Benjamin Sesko. Yeah, I mean they're two decent signings, man. Big up Early Doors Football. Says big up Wax. Happy New Year to you. Big up every single one of you. Happy New Year to everyone in the building. Much appreciate the super chat, Darth Vader, as well. Luton have closed the gap on Arsenal by 5 points. We yeah, Luton are doing their thing, man. Luton are doing their thing, bro. Anyway, yeah, man. Big up Joe and Darth for the super chats, man. Much appreciate that each and every time. Yeah, no, listen, Luton are doing their thing. Like I said, in the next month, I said it yesterday on the match reaction, in the next month or so, they'll sit in 8th, 9th in the league. Now, we've only got 3 games in January. I think 2 Premier League games and the Carabao Cup, or 3 Premier League games and the Carabao Cup. End of the season, get him out. Let me see what the poll's saying anyway, because I put a poll up. So 56% of you say give Arteta till the end of the season. And I would agree with that. I'm starting to see the sack him now creep up. The sack him now just creeped up by about 2%. So we've got 45% of people saying sack him now, and we've got 2% of you guys saying give him a new contract. Who actually said give him a new contract? I would love to know who it is, bro. I would love to know who that is. I don't know what this is. Insert. Okay. Don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, make sure we are hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. How many likes do we have on this video? We've got 30 likes on this video. I need more, ladies and gentlemen. Keep hitting that like button. All right, cool. So let's get into some of what's being said. So just before the game, yesterday, Mikel Arteta was questioned about the situation taking place with West Ham, and he said that we created a number of situations. I don't know what's going on here. Why is it sitting on? I don't know what's going on. This made me lose the thing that I'm trying to read. But he basically said yesterday that against West Ham, we generated so many situations, and this is really winds me up when he talks to Waffle. Today, we are going to have a lot of situations, and hopefully we will be more efficient. Yeah. That's what he said. Now, we weren't efficient, was we? We were absolutely diabolical. And Marco Silva even says over the 95 minutes, we deserved it, the win more than Arsenal did. It was a very good reaction after the first goal, the way we beat their pressure and began to play our way. So literally he just said, look, we took control of the game. We started to play our way, and Arsenal couldn't get a look in. We even had more chances to score a third goal, and he's right. I mean, we looked open. We looked open for the taking after Fulham scored their second goal. Everyone was shaky. I think players were doubting themselves at that moment in time. They just didn't know what was going on, and they couldn't believe it. They just wasn't in a position to comprehend what was going on around them at the time. And I think it led to them being shaky, and Fulham had a number of opportunities. Raul Jimenez someone that was going to join Arsenal about 7 years ago, someone that I used to love back in the day. Had a fantastic game, bro. You know, since he's been playing for Fulham, he's been a totally different Raul Jimenez that he was at Wolves. He was a goal scorer at Wolves for a little while. Then he had that head injury and he wasn't the same ever again after that. But, you know, Marco Silva's redeemed him and he looks so much better than he was at Wolves, especially in his latter years. But we made him look like a world-class Don, proper world-class Don yesterday. Even Reed, Jamaican Reed blood, he was causing us problems on the wings. Kivior couldn't get a look in. You know what? Kivior needs to go, man. I swear that. Just to not be overly harsh on Kivior, I would say loan him out. Loan him out. Loan him out and let him go and get some experience, because I just don't think Kivior is anywhere near good enough. And like I said in the match reaction yesterday, that we're a team that are going for the title. That's the expectation. So therefore, if we're a team that are going for the title, we want to make sure that every player involved in this title race are capable and qualified enough to carry a team to a title. And when we say carry sounds like it's over exaggerated to a degree. Like, oh yeah, this person's just going to come in and single-handedly help Arsenal win the Premier League. I mean, that's not what I'm necessarily saying, but I'm saying, like, I want this player to be good enough that there's not a drop in quality. You know, he's got the right mentality. You know, all of the things that you need, a seasoned enough player that you can say, all right, yeah, we're winning the league with him at left back. Yeah. You know, like, you bringing Kivior in January of last season didn't make any sense to Arsenal, especially being in a position where we're trying to win the league 7 points at the top of the table. So that didn't make sense. And then we've gone a whole year later, like a whole 12 months, and Kivior looks like a fucking headless chicken, bro. I thought this guy was a generational manager that can actually develop players. In fact, you're regressing players, man. Players are not developing under Mikel Arteta. Sorry, they're not. No one's developing under Mikel Arteta. The players that he signed, see, the players that were here before him, I would say that they've progressed. They've got better. They have got better. Xhaka, Martinelli, they've got better. But with them, I think it was inevitable that they were going to get better, because they were just, they've got that in them. You know, like, everyone gets better at what they do when they keep practicing. But the trajectory of that progress can be sky high if you've got the right mentor, right coaches, right influences, the right guidance. If you've got the right guidance, then your trajectory is going to be way different to a person who's got the talent, but they haven't got the mentor to help them get there. They've got the talent, but they just don't have the influences and the mentor. They're still going to continue to go up, but they're not going to go up at the same rate. And that's what's happening with Martinelli and Xhaka. They've continued to develop, but they haven't gone up of the rate. They haven't gone up at the same rate as a Vinicius Junior or Rodrigo or a Jude Bellingham, or they haven't gone up at those rates. Those guys, they've completely left these dons behind. But the reputation of the players is kind of holding them in the conversation. So what they've done for their own careers over the past 2-3 years is still having them involved in the conversation. But if you actually compare the players, what Jude Bellingham does on the ball and what he offers his overall team, you ain't getting that from Xhaka. You ain't getting that from ESR. You ain't getting that from Martinelli. You ain't getting that from these players. You ain't getting that from Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira has been here for how long now? 1.5 years, 2 years coming this year. 2 years. 2 years. Jude Bellingham was turning up in Dortmund within a space of 12 months. He's gone from Dortmund after about 3-4 years, 5 years being there. He's gone straight to La Liga, Real Madrid. Of course, he's probably gone to the best team in the league. But come on, the numbers that he's putting up for Real Madrid are phenomenal. These are different gravies, different level of players. But that's not Xhaka's fault. That's not Martinelli's fault. That's the manager's fault. the manager and the coaches. Remember, these men are getting trained by Earpod Albert. They were getting trained by what's that guy's name again that recently left? That fraud that was David Moyes' boy. What's his name again? Steve Rounds. They were getting coached by Steve Rounds, a failure at Everton, a failure at Manchester United. They were getting coached by failures, bro. The only person you could probably say, there's probably one or two people behind the scenes that are working with Mikel Arteta that are well-drilled, well-driven, well-determined. That's like Carlos Cuesta Don, yeah? And I think there's another Spanish Don. There's two Spanish guys behind the scenes working with Mikel Arteta. They look like Mikel Arteta's cousins, yeah? They seem like they're on stuff. But everyone else that's involved in this coaching at Arsenal they're little men. You know, Earpod Albert was only managing under 17s in Holland. You know, what is all right, cool. He won the Euros or the World Cup for the under 17s when he was a manager for, you know, then. But what does he really know about the senior level, competing at the highest level? They don't know about it. They don't know. So, you know, getting players ready to do that, you know, getting players in a position to do that mentally, physically, technically, they're not ready for that. They're not ready for it. They're still learning. And that's the reason why none of our players are developing. None of them are developing. Like, you've taken our players to the limit. You've taken us, like, you can't take them any further than you've already taken them. And that's basically where Arsenal are at. And now what's a major concern as well is that, one, we don't have any money due to incompetence, so we can't actually guarantee any players in January. Two, we've got players burnt out at the moment, like Xhaka and Martinelli, that don't really look good. And three, we've got a manager that's not great at man management. So how the fuck does that all work out? How does that all work out, bro? Hey, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. So, yeah, man, back to what we were saying here. Declan Rice is, you know, a lot of pressure on Declan Rice. It's a bit embarrassing for Martin Odegaard, to be quite fair. Hair flick. Martin Odegaard, a.k.a. Hair flick. Because, oh, big up Lee Gunner, bro. That name is mad. Hair flick. Hey, listen, hair flick, yeah? Yeah. Captain Airflick is not even trying to step up after at the press conferences. He's not trying to talk up the things. He's not trying to be accountable for these poor results. When Arsenal win, if Arsenal win, Hairflick is there. He is there, isn't he? He's always there when Arsenal win. If Arsenal lose, let's see if Martin Odegaard does a press conference. He doesn't. And now we're leaving it. We're putting all the pressure on 100 million Declan Rice. I actually feel sorry for Declan. I actually feel sorry for the kid. I call him a kid, yeah, because I'm like 11 years older than him. You want to think it. Anyway, I feel sorry for Declan Rice, bro. He's the one that is dealing with the media right now, stoking up all that pressure. He's been here for 6 months. How can he explain to the world and give reason to the world as to why Arsenal are not performing as they were last season? Arsenal haven't been performing the way they were performing last season. So let's ask Declan Rice why that is. Oh, shit, boy. I feel sorry for Declan. And Martin Odegaard is allowing it as the captain of Arsenal Football Club. Martin Odegaard is allowing Declan Rice to take that pressure. That is crazy. That is crazy. Give him a new contract. We have a PR team member in here. Who clicked that PR? It's probably M. M, you done that, didn't you? Wax, I would give him a few more months before you call out the major issues at Arsenal. Declan Rice, he's talking about. Listen, I can't listen. Declan Rice, we can't blame Declan Rice. We've seen this time and time again, ladies and gentlemen. And what have we seen time and time again? We have seen good players, well put together players, good players, qualified players, strong-minded players come into Arsenal, and when they come to Arsenal, everything's rosy. They're adapting. They're getting to know the players. They're understanding the system. They're finding everything there is to find out about this fraud, Mikel Arteta. I said this fraud. I even got them on the screen. I thought I did have them on the screen. But they're finding out everything they need to find out about Arteta. Now, even though Declan Rice actually said we've got a good manager last night in his press conference, I mean, obviously he's got to do that 6 months in. How can you not praise the manager? The manager that you've been praising since you've been here, right? But eventually, after about 5 or 6 months of you being involved in what's going on at Arsenal, based on the context that I've just given you, you will eventually fall into the trap of being a weak-minded player. And it's not just a weak-minded player, but an underperforming player. A player where people will look at you and say, oh my God, is that actually the guy we just spent? And that's what's happening with Declan Rice. Look, it's only been 2 games, ladies and gentlemen. It's only been West Ham and Crystal Palace. We've got Crystal Palace coming soon. It's only West Ham and Fulham. They're the only 2 games where Declan Rice has, not been at his best. Look at all the other games that Declan Rice has played this season. Declan Rice has been single-handedly one of the best players in every single one of those games. We can't just throw that away based on 2 performances. It's not only Declan Rice that's in that mess, is it? It's the whole team right now. Martinelli, Xhaka, everybody is in a mess. They're in a mental breakdown. Everybody. So I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, whoa, Declan Rice is... No, it's got nothing to do with Declan Rice. Declan Rice walked into something that from outside is an illusion. Do you understand? I told you guys this before. Arsenal, one of the things that Arsenal love to do as a football club, with their fans especially, is they like to manipulate. That's why they use PR, a lot of PR. So they will never be honest and open and tell you, give you any type of transparency. They won't do that. So what they have to do in order to protect whatever they've got going on is they create the illusion. They create an illusion to make people believe, give people a perception. Because that's what Arsenal have been doing. Arsenal have been trying to control people's behaviors. If they can control the fan base's behavior, so they keep fans financially invested, then ultimately what they have to do is they need to control your perception. Therefore, they will pull the illusion. They'll pull the wool over your eyes. And what we think is really going on is not actually going on. So even for someone like Declan Rice, who from the outside at one point was looking in, would have thought, oh my God, everything is gravy at Arsenal. I want to be a part of that. And what they've done is fantastic because, we've signed Declan Rice. We are able to attract players based on that illusion that they've created. However, when those players finally walk through the door and they spend a couple of months with the club, like Willian did, like a number of players have done, they eventually find out what they've walked themselves into. And they start crumbling. They start crumbling. So on that basis, having that understanding and knowing that's how Arsenal operate, am I going to blame Declan Rice? No, I'm not going to blame him until he starts putting in the most deadliest performances. I'm not going to blame him. I think Declan Rice has been phenomenal. And if there's anyone to blame for anyone's decline or anyone's underperforming, it has to be Mikel Arteta. Don't forget, we are 2 points off top. Everyone thinks it's over. It's not. Big up the Game Pro, and rightly so. I've said the same thing. I said the same thing. I don't think I said it today, but I did say it yesterday. So it's not over, but it's about what we're seeing. That's it. Results-wise, mathematically, all of that, come on, we know we're still in the race. We're 100% in the race. But it's about what we're seeing. And as fans, what we're seeing, is that giving us confidence to say we can continue to jockey this race and continue to be involved? No, it's not. We're literally losing all optimism. We're not on it. We're not on it, bro. And what makes us feel this way instantly? The reason why we feel this way instantly is because of the history of the Arteta. With the exception of last season, the history of the Arteta does not give anybody confidence that what we're seeing right now isn't going to continue to blip. Whether we win our next game or the next couple of games or whatnot, what we've seen against Fulham, at this moment in time, most people would say is a guarantee result to come again, and probably again, maybe 2 to 3 times before this season is actually over. The football on display hasn't been that great as well. So, you know, that's not giving us optimism and confidence. So it's just kind of like, look, we're fed up, man. We're fed up. We want someone that's going to come in, play beautiful football, utilize the players for the players that they are, instead of being arrogant, instead of being so, you know, stuck up. You know, Mikel Arteta is deploying a system and he's saying to players, listen, if you can't play in this system, then you're not good enough. That's what he's basically saying, without actually coming to a realization that the system that you are trying to play, Mikel Arteta, is not good enough. Do you understand? And this is the reason why you've seen multiple players flop. There's no coincidence, man. There's no coincidence. You know, at this moment in time, you know, if you're looking at successes, like, how do we define success with the current players that we have? Because none of them have succeeded. None of the players that we have at this moment in time that Mikel Arteta has signed have been able to come in and do more than what the previous team had done, really and truly. Yeah, they've done better in the league one season, but other than that, they haven't been able to take that step forwards. They haven't won a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup. If they would have done that last season, then you understand. But they're not. So how do we measure the success of these players? Do we measure it based on the fact that, okay, like Martin Odegaard as an example, is it because he's still here? He's still playing for Arsenal? So he must have been a successful signing? Like, how do we measure what a successful signing is? Because if we look at all the signings that Arteta has made so far, we can say that, all right, cool, Declan Rice, we love that signing. You know, it's a signing that still remains to be seen right now. We don't know if that's a success or not. But if you look at everyone else, the Ben Whites, the Odegaards, the Fabio Vieiras, the players that have all been brought in, can we actually say any of them have been successful? Because they haven't won us anything. They haven't done anything to really be deemed a successful signing. Obviously, if we're based it on last season and last season alone, then we can say, all right, cool, GA and things like that for certain players was good. Martin Odegaard in particular, 25 GA, I think he got last season, 25, 22, 23, something like that. So you can say, oh, that was a fantastic season. But can we still say that's a success? Can we still say or class that as a successful signing? So this is very interesting, isn't it? Odegaard is not captain material. Wax transfer window open. What's the news? Nothing. Some random young kids just being linked with a move to Arsenal. Never heard of them before. We've got Mo Salah's little cousin being linked. Big up Spreewell in the building. Yeah, they control the narrative. Exactly, man. PR at its finest. Yeah, that's what they do, man. We need the Zerbi. The Zerbi is not good enough. Man gets bamboozled. Yeah, I wouldn't take the Zerbi anyway. Like, I would personally take, like, I've always loved Luis Enrique. I think Luis Enrique, for me, obviously, I know he's at PSG. He's only been there for a short space of time. Pardon me. Didn't have the best Europe campaign, did he? Was it Europe or World Cup? Can't remember. But I think he got to the semi-finals, maybe. But Luis Enrique has kind of been there and done it. He's worked with the best players in the world. He's got one of the best styles of play in terms of football. And he knows how to utilize players. If we brought Luis Enrique into Arsenal Football Club, he makes Martinelli and Xhaka look proper world-class. Like, I don't know if many people have been following him at PSG, but watching a few of PSG's games, recently, PSG's football, in comparison to how it was last season, wow. Remember, this is a PSG team, that are lacking a culture, that are lacking so much right now, They've got all the players in the world, all of that type of stuff, but they lacked so much before Luis Enrique walked in. And Luis Enrique's walked in there and he's given them an identity. And the type of way they're attacking and breaking teams down right now, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I would love to have Luis Enrique. The club's unserious. We are not sacking Arteta. The narrative at the end of the season will be, we had injuries, give Arteta time. Does Luis Enrique develop youth, though, Wags? Well, I mean, look, Luis Enrique is about results. He's all about results. I can't really look at his history and say, yes, he's known for developing youth players. But that's not to say he can't develop youth players. Do you know what I mean? And actually, what am I talking about? What am I fucking talking about? Am I stupid? How many youth players has Luis Enrique promoted from the PSG youth team into the PSG senior team? In fact, there's about 2 or 3 players in PSG's team of recent that are about 18 or 19 years old. So yes, he does develop youth, just like Nort says. What was I thinking there? My brain, I told you, I only woke up about 4 hours ago. So my brain is, Luis Enrique does develop. That guy Emre, there's a guy called Emre that plays for PSG right now on smoke. He's on smoke. He's about 18 years old. He's about 18 years old, man. Oliver says, let's not waste time this season. Sack him now. Budget, big you up, my guy. He says, 4 years of what? Alfie says, everyone's screaming for Tommy. Hold on. Tommy. I just clocked what he said there. I was going to say that, but he took the piss out of his name. I remember someone used to call him Tommy Yazoo. Remember Yazoo, the milkshakes? Man used to call him Tommy Yazoo. He's another bank average shitter. Arteta out. Look, Tommy Yasu is an injury-prone player, man. I think Tommy Yasu's had a fantastic season this season, probably his best season he's had at Arsenal Football Club. But you know, his reintroduction back into the team is probably not going to be as great because Arsenal are in a shit state, and he will probably fall into that shit state mentally, and we probably won't see the version of Tommy Yasu that we did see in the first half of the season now, and that's going to be a shame. But then again, this brings into question Arteta's future at the club, because if you're the owner, if you are the technical director, the sporting director, whoever Edu is at this club, and you're seeing all of these situations, come on, man, you're gonna have to say to Arteta, look, ultimatum, bro. Ultimatum. What else can it be? You know, ultimatum. Lee Gunner was right all along. Yeah, I mean, Lee Gunner was he's never been Arteta's biggest fan at all. Bacola, Zari, Emre, big up Tope, he knows, man. He knows the ballers. PSG have got some dons over there. Enrique is overrated. Now, I wouldn't say so, man. I think Enrique is a qualified qualified manager. He's been there and done it. He's won a number of trophies, you know, major honors. You know, you can't disregard that, man. I think with this type of team that we've got right now, with the type of football that Luis Enrique plays, this team's cooking, bro. This team's cooking. Because if you think about it, even though we call out players and so on and so forth, we know the quality of our players. Of course, we get fed up when we see players, you know, not perform, that are underwhelming. Wax was right all along. More than Lee Gunner, says Darth Vader. Oh, hey, that's not me saying that. That's not me saying that. Now, Lee's actually spoke bare facts. But you see me, I've put so much together over the years that everything's just it's just been black and white for me, mate. It's literally been black and white for me. But yeah, what was I saying? Like, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, man. Big up Static in a building. Up, but love and respect to you, Static, man. I see you on Northside's channel yesterday, yeah, giving your opinions, yeah. Big you up, bro. Big you up, bro. Yeah, man. So this is the situation. Arsenal need to kind of step their game up, man. Get some players in January. Don't think that's going to happen. Declan Rice, you know, believes there's been a blip in the roads. There's no need to panic. There's still so many games to go. I kind of agree with that statement, but I mean, he's saying that because that's the type of mentality he's got, and I appreciate that. It's one thing I like about Declan Rice. The mentality of the player is on point. He is like a natural born winner. Unfortunately for him, he's just been at West Ham for a number of years, but still won more than what players at this project have won. Yeah, let's put that out there. But I like the mentality of Declan Rice because he's accountable. He takes responsibility. He demonstrates every single quality that you would want in a captain. Every single quality. Declan Rice is again, man, a phenomenal signing. And if it doesn't If it doesn't work out under Arteta, with Declan Rice in the team, it will work out under someone. Because for you to have a player like Declan Rice in the middle of the park and the other players that Declan Rice has around him, and you put the right system and the right philosophy and the right setup and everything around those players, the players are cooking, bro, man. And this is what I was going to say, actually. Like, when you look at the individual quality that we have, there are no question marks for me. Yeah, there was a few positions that we probably need to upgrade on and sort out because of Mikel Arteta's incompetence. But if you look at the base, the core base of this team, I think we've got a good enough team for Zidane and Luis Enrique, one of those managers to come in, 6, 12 months, Arsenal are, you know, at your neck, competing, even maybe winning the league. You never know. Anyway, but Declan Rice, man, taking up a lot of this pressure. But this fraudulent manager, it looks like it's going to come to the end for Arteta really soon, man. He says that we didn't do enough with that possession, not enough purpose, speed, or threat. We were sloppy with the ball. It wasn't good enough. We didn't deserve to win. When you have opportunities to go top of the league on the 31st of December, and now you end up with a really bad feeling, pardon me, that is football. Yeah. Look, man, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy, man. Make sure we are hitting the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to see what's going on right now. Chris Hughton. All right, so let's look at some general news, man. Because Thomas Partey is not traveling. Looks like Thomas Partey is out, out of the AFCON, and apparently he's going to be continuing his rehabilitation here in London. Why the F is Cedric, El Neni, Eddie, to name a few, still at this club? That's what I'm saying, man. Got to ask Mikel Arteta. He dished every single one of those players new contracts. But Chris Hughton says Arsenal will treat this injury with caution in regards to Thomas Partey. He says, so will the player. This is a big injury for him, the biggest injury he's had. Wow. From all the information we've been given, the timelines of his recovery and the caution that will be taken will not meet our timelines for the AFCON. So AFCON should be over early February, which is again indicating that Thomas Partey isn't going to be back anytime soon. We're looking at probably another 8 weeks before Thomas Partey is back. And then when Thomas Partey does come back, does Thomas Partey have the physical presence or the physical fitness levels to actually even come back into the team and play like he's, you know, not been missed? You know what I mean? Even Partey's trending right now. Let's see what else is being said. So Thomas Partey, man, I just think, look, time is done with Thomas. We're probably going to have to move him on now, isn't it? There's nothing we can really do with Thomas. This is the worst injury he's had. Thomas Partey is one of the most important players without his injury. He could certainly be in the squad. We know the quality of the player that he is. This is a player that suffered a substantial injury. So, yeah, man, Thomas Partey is out. We've got Rafael Leao talking about Cristiano Ronaldo being his idol. Fabrizio Romano announcing that he's joined Google. Wow. Team Pixel. Oh, that's the Google phone thing, isn't it? Oh, fuck off. We don't care about your phones. Jamie Redknapp says that Arsenal miss Granit Xhaka. What's your thoughts on this, ladies and gentlemen? This is pretty interesting, and I would actually agree with this. And it's mad that we're actually saying this now. Mad that we're saying this. Like, how? How did we get to a point where we're missing Granit Xhaka, ladies and gentlemen? Was he not in full training in regards to Thomas Partey? He was not in full training, but he was in training. Obviously, we get to see bits of him in training, but there's obviously a different schedule for Thomas Partey in comparison to the team. So he will be there, but he'll be on light training, more kind of fitness work. And he probably, like, just say that as an example, the boys might be training for like 4 hours, but Partey's schedule was to train for like maybe 2 hours. That's how they kind of work it when they're trying to slowly but surely build you back up in football. We will never win anything with him. Sack him now and bring in a better manager. Wax, we have too much passengers in this team. Jamie is right. I ain't forgotten the 7 years of shit with him. This is what I'm saying. It's a mad one with Granit Xhaka, isn't it? Because it's like, I'm with you, Oliver. Not Oliver. Is it Oliver who said that? Yeah, it was Oliver. Oliver, I'm with you on that. And I make an exception for the season that Granit Xhaka had last season, right? Because it was a standout, phenomenal season. But after he put those performances in, I was kind of with Oliver. I was like, I don't care about that one season that he had out of the 7 that we've seen, that we've witnessed. It's been poor. Well done. You had a good send-off season, the season where you knew you was leaving, so you put your whole heart into it and you had a great season. But ultimately, it led to nothing because we didn't win the league, we didn't win anything, and we waved goodbye to Xhaka. However, looking at what we were doing last season and comparing that to this season, without being biased, we can actually say that Granit Xhaka was a big miss. We can actually say that what Granit Xhaka offered to the team last season is not currently being offered to this team right now. One of the reasons we were fluid, one of the reasons why we was always attacking was because of Granit Xhaka. Weirdly, Granit Xhaka last season, every time he got the ball, the only thing he was thinking, get the ball forward. Get the ball forward. And the moment Granit Xhaka got the ball forward last season, is Granit Xhaka then done what? He made those deep runs to try and become that second striker. So Granit Xhaka was integral to doing that. Kai Havertz is trying to become that second striker, but Kai Havertz is slowing play down. Kai Havertz is taking the easy route. See, that's the difference that's happening between Kai Havertz and Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka received the ball, was direct with the ball. He was putting the ball on plates for players. Kai Havertz receives the ball, and Kai Havertz is turning around, passing it back, passing it sideways, passing it back, just trying to keep possession. So there's a big difference in how they were playing last season. Wax got a bounce. Take care, bro. Big you up, Static, man. My #1 mod. Big you up, my G. Big you up, Static. Hit up the like button and make sure you subscribe, man. It's the same every season. Did you expect anything else? Happy New Year's, Wax. Have a good one. Big you up, Aiden. Good to see you in the building, my guy. Happy New Year to every single one of you in the building that are watching. Just under 100 people locked in. Much appreciate every single one of you. Hit that like button, all of that. I'm going to run through some more comments. We will do maybe one more bit of news, probably this one. And then we wrap this up. Got another video dropping in like an hour. So make sure you guys go and check that out. But yeah, I mean, with this situation with Granit Xhaka, I kind of agree. You know, we do miss Granit Xhaka, and it's sad to actually say it. He's gone over to Bayern Leverkusen. He's continued to play the way he was playing last season, which means he's being utilized for the player that he is, as he was last season, and he's continuing to. I mean, Granit Xhaka so far this season has made the most passes into the final third out of any player in the world. Granit Xhaka, you know. Granit Xhaka. That's what Ligana was talking about yesterday. Odegaard blew snot into his nose and then wiped it into his hair. Not even on his shorts, fam. Man wiped it on his hair, blood. Obviously, man's gonna have a shower straight after the game, but that's mad. That is mad. What else is new? I'm just trying to see if there's anything else on here that is worthwhile talking about right now. Happy birthday, Jack Wilshere. Yeah, man, like Jackie boy. So yeah, obviously the rumors are going to start now, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do know. The rumors will start. There's no rumors of Arsenal at the moment. It does seem like everything's just kind of focused on that poor result yesterday. But the rumors are starting. Fabrizio Romano is live and direct. You got Leon trying to sign Dan Jumma from Everton. Got things happening. All right, let me just run through some more of these comments. Then I am going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are enjoying your new year so far. Hope Arsenal didn't spoil it. Let me know what you got up to. Did anyone have fun last night? Anyone go nightclubbing, raving, get drunk, get smashed? Is anyone hungover? Might as well do a live Q&A today. I think I'll do a live Q&A later on tonight. No topic, we'll just go in. That's what I'm saying, man. Mama putting snot in his nut. Mama putting snot in his hair, guys. I can't believe it. And the maddest thing is, I see it, but I didn't realize it. And it's when Lee Gunner said it on that fan cam, I was like, oh, right, that's what he was doing. He was putting snot in his hair. We will lose to the Bin Dippers in the FA Cup. Then it's season over again. I can't stand this clown. Yes, he's a man. Woke piece of S. Alfie is just not happy with Arteta right now. I don't think we're going to do much in that FA Cup. I think one thing I noticed from Klopp recently is that he is eager to win something this season. Remember, we were talking about Liverpool in the WhatsApp group the other day. If anyone wants to join our WhatsApp group, I don't think there is a link in the description, but just go and follow one of the other videos, check one of the other videos out. We've got a link in the description. Join our WhatsApp group. But we were saying in the WhatsApp group the other day, talking about Liverpool. And I think Klopp has put himself under immense pressure because he hasn't really won any trophies for a couple of years, especially the major ones like Champions League or Premier League. And, you know, your legacy could actually get tarnished if you don't actually step up. And it's one of the reasons why I make Liverpool the favourites, because I think Liverpool right now have got so much motivation, especially when they could see that Man City are not really in this race, or they are in the race, but they're kind of falling behind. They have got so much motivation, so much determination to actually go all the way and win this fucking title. You know, them way there. So I've got a feeling that Liverpool are going to do it this season. I honestly think Liverpool are going to do it this season. Liverpool are going to be the Premier League winners. Man City will probably finish second. Aston Villa third. I think Aston Villa are definitely doing top four. And then fourth and fifth is going to be a swing. Remember, fourth and fifth both qualify for Champions League. So Arsenal can finish fifth and still get Champions League. But finishing fifth just takes us back to where we were before we finished second, doesn't it? It's not really that great, to be quite fair. But I think Aston Villa will come third, and I think it will be a real strong swing for that fourth and fifth position. We might see another surprise creep in. We might see a West Ham creep in there. We might, because West Ham have got a good team, you know. Let's not get it twisted. Like, if you actually look at West Ham's starting 11, West Ham have got a good team. They've got technicians in there. They've got runners in there. They've got goal scorers in there. They've got hard-working players in there. Lion believes Villa will drop out. I mean, they've kind of shown a bit of complacency recently, so you might be right there. I've got so much bogey in my nose right now. It's unbelievable, bro. I think I'm getting ill, mate. Liverpool won't win it, Wax, but yet again, it's your opinion. I think Liverpool will win the Premier League this season. I think it's going to Liverpool, Man City second, Aston Villa third, Arsenal fourth, and another surprise. I think fifth is going to be a surprise team. I think we could see West Ham. I think we could potentially see Newcastle or maybe Brighton, depending on how they see out the second half of the season. I think we can even see Chelsea. Maybe Chelsea might get back in there. Can't kind of rule Chelsea out. They're starting to find form again. Pochettino is starting to, you know, adapt some of the players, you know, really implement his style and his identity. So, yeah, I think Chelsea could get back in there. Man United done. Anyone that mentions Man United done. Villa fourth now, maybe. I mean, Villa. We'll see, man. We'll see. That's kind of my predictions anyway. But Man United are done. Wipe your bogey in your hair. That's what I'm saying. Let's take my heart. Let's wipe it in there, blood. Now, Man United are done. Anyone that's saying Man United, done. I think Ten Hag's getting sacked at the end of this season. Live Q&A. And we'll see what I'm doing today. I'm not doing anything today. Yeah, so live Q&A tonight. New Year's Day Q&A around about, we'll do it about 8 o'clock. So not too late. We'll do it about 8 o'clock when everyone's vibes in, getting ready to go to bed. Everyone's back to work tomorrow. Back to work. Who's worse? TH or Arteta? For me, Arteta with the time he's had. It's really, I mean, that's an extreme. It's a difficult one because I would have said that Arteta is worse. I would have said that. I liked Ten Hag, but one thing we can say, right, is that the Eredivisie, and this is another reason why we have to be patient with Yuri and Timber. Don't overhype him. Don't gas him, especially now he's had this ACL. But one thing I'm going to say is the Eredivisie is one of the poorest leagues in world football. One of the poorest. I'm not talking about financials. We're talking about the type of quality of player they've got in that league. It's poor. However, what I was seeing Ten Hag do at Ajax was phenomenal. And the football that he was playing, the players that he had in that system, it worked. But again, you're doing it in an easy peasy league. You've basically got Bournemouth playing Torquay, basically. That's the comparison. That's the best comparison you can give it. Ajax are Bournemouth, and Torquay are a mid-table team in the Eredivisie. Maybe Torquay might be a bit disrespectful. Maybe Northampton. I mean, it just speaks for itself, and it's the quality we're talking about here. So, when you're looking at Ten Hag and you're saying, all right, cool, looks good, system, all of that. I think he scored like over 500 goals in less than 300 games. When you're looking at that, it's like, whoa, Ten Hag's on smoke. But he's come to Man United, a team that's all over the place. We have to say that team was all over the place before Ten Hag took over at Man United. Very imbalanced team. Egos. No real culture. No real footballing brains at the club as well. You've got to bear that in mind. Like, no real footballing brains at Manchester United. Like, the people that are driving the bus at Manchester United are just glorified accountants and people that don't have a clear understanding of football or talent or identifying talent. So the only thing I'm going to say with Ten Hag that's been very questionable for me is football, not being able to identify a real style of play for your team. And the players that he's brought in, man. The players that he has brought in at Manchester United have been disgusting. Man signed Sabitzer and all those dons. Sabitzer. Man really signed Sabitzer and Weghorst. And obviously, there's context. I do understand that Man United never had no money when they signed certain players like the Sabitzers and the Weghorsts. But when you're looking at Anthony, when you're looking at, those big money signings, Højlund, it's questionable. And the ID of those players is questionable, isn't it? So based on what you're saying there, and is that your town, Northampton? Yeah, look at that, Shane. Big you up. Northampton. Big up the guys in Northampton. Blood. I don't even know why I said Northampton. Random. But look at that, though. I said Northampton. I've got a guy in Northampton watching the channel. Big you up, Shane. Look, I think if you compare both managers right now, this is the last thing we're going to touch on. Compare both managers right now. I would say Mikel Arteta is the better manager. I would say Mikel Arteta is the better manager. just based on since Ten Hag's been at Manchester United. If you look at what he's done at Manchester United and what Arteta's done, yes, Ten Hag's won a Carabao Cup and got them into top 3. But since then, has he been able to continue to build on that? No, he hasn't. It's literally like it's fallen off a cliff differently. It's a different fall. It's really hard. So I don't know, man. And then you look at the players that you've signed, and it's like, oh man, nearly 100 million for Anthony. It's like crazy. Yeah. Wax, we need to fire Edu and bring Maldini as director of football, plus Simeone or Zidane. Yeah, we need to have big players in the boardroom, man. And that's another reason why I say Aston Villa are going to do well, because that's the first thing that Aston Villa done. When they signed Unai Emery, they started to clean up their boardroom, and they actually spoke with Unai Emery, according to what I've read, to get recommendations on who he as a manager would like to work with. And yeah, they brought in certain people. And since then, where Aston Villa have been flying. The Mount signing was crazy. Angie is better than ETH. Edu is leaving this season. No, that's not Edu. That's Vinay. Vinay is leaving this season. Ain't this Terek Enhard's second season, though? To me, he's doing what Mikel No Plan did, but just in reverse. Yeah. This is Ten Hag's second season, yeah. Look, I think Mikel Arteta's had it easier at Arsenal than Ten Hag's had it at Manchester United, in all fairness. If you compare what both managers have done, then since Ten Hag's been there, then I am kind of inclined to say Mikel Arteta probably has proven to be a bit more of a better manager. Not much of a better manager, but he has proven to be the better manager. Especially that in-game results as well, turning games around. Ten Hag has struggled to do that, but he has done it, but struggled. Look, I think Mikel Arteta has had an easier ride at Arsenal. He's had more resources. He's been given more reign to call shots. I don't think Ten Hag's had that. I think Ten Hag is a puppet. Ten Hag is a puppet. Ten Hag has walked into a club that is in disarray. They don't have a culture. They don't have a real footballing identity. They lost that when Alex Ferguson left, and they wasn't able to regain it. They thought they could do it with Jose Mourinho, and Jose Mourinho just knew that the people that he was working with they're incompetent people. They're people that are just not football people. So on that basis, it's going to be really difficult for us to put Man United into the position that we want Man United to be, because these guys don't understand how to do it. And I'm just the manager. I can't tell these guys how to run their football club. So, yeah, it's just been difficult for Ten Hag, man. At least Arteta has had an owner that has been willing to make change. And that's what we can say. We've had an owner. Arteta has had an owner that has been willing to make change. Why are you all here talking about Manchester United while Arsenal is going backwards? Talk about our club. I'm fed up with all these talks, brother. Happy New Year to all the Gunners, and that is it. Like, Anthony is not ramping. He's coming on smoke, like quick, like bang! Let it go. He wasn't ramping. Listen, Anthony, we've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, we've been talking about Arsenal for about an hour and 15 of those minutes. Yeah, allow us. Let us breathe, man. Bloody hell. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate the ones that have been here from the minute this live stream went on, and they are still watching this right now. And it's a new year, new goals, new money. I hope every single one of you get rich. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean financially. It's in whatever you want to get rich in. Just get rich. look after your family, plan, be as effective as you can be as efficient as you can be, stay focused, stay determined, and get more money. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Big up Darth Vader. Big up Budget. Big up Stephen Davis. Good to see you in the building, Stephen. Big up Anthony Footy Chats. Oliver TC. My guy Saxham in the building. Big up Norts. DS Electronics. Big up everyone I can see at the bottom of this chat. Shane, Lion Trading as well. Big you guys up. Make sure we are hitting the like button. Do subscribe. We will be back. The Casual Gamer, my guy Grant. You are now a mod, Grant. We will be back. I've got another video dropping in about half an hour, so make sure you check that out. Turn your notification bells on, and we will be back for a late night live Q&A, unfiltered, live and uncut. Any questions you have, any talking points you want to talk about, we're going to be diving in. So make sure you join me around about 7:30, 8 o'clock this evening. But big up every single one of you. Big up Alex as well. I see you, my brother. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys later on this evening. Peace. Be you. Yeah. I'm talking to you, blood. I need you to hit the like button.